A drone show in Ho Chi Minh City in Vietnam goes terribly wrong, and lots of fingers are pointing as to what actually happened. Now, I've studied the videos, and having had experience with interference, I have my own opinion on what actually happened, and I think you'll find it quite interesting. So let's have a look at this right now. Hi everyone, Stephen from the Flyby guys. So we're looking at a drone show that happened in Vietnam and Ho Chi Minh City over the past couple of days. And yeah, this was a 10,000, actually over 10,000. I think it was a world record, 10,500 or something it was. And it was very spectacular. Now, this is from a company called Damoda, who are based in China. I like their system. It's really, really good. They have a very good system. And this is, let's say, the first time that something has went wrong. Now, I've had experience with interference with GNSS and with radio frequency. So I've got some good experience with having had this happen to me and having to deal with the consequences of it. And it's I hope it never happens to any of you, but if it does happen to you, you will learn a lot. This doesn't happen in the West very much. This happens in the East, as this show is obviously in the East. So this is not really a surprise, but we're going to have a look at some of the footage that has been going around. This is the first video, and we can see here that drones are in the air and they look quite good, but there's other drones returning to their home position. Now you can see these drones coming down. Now they don't look like they are in trouble. They are just returning home. Now that tells me that this is not a GNSS issue. This is a radio issue. So the drones have not got any response from the radio. So usually what happens from let's say like a heartbeat sense, if you understand, if you're using servers, is that if they don't get the heartbeat, then they'll just return home. And this is what has happened here. Unfortunately, it looks like they have been landing in places that they shouldn't do. This is common as well. It has happened to us, but it has not. But they have not landed where they really shouldn't have landed. They've landed within the zone, but they've landed on like some trees and stuff. We can see this has been happening here as well. Now, when you're dealing with a large show like this, it's not as simple as one computer and one person behind, all the cliches about, it's really easy. This is the most difficult thing that any drone operator will ever do. Trust me, you need a lot of people, a lot of planning. And with a show this size, there will be probably 5 or 6 pilots that will be operating all of these drones, but they'll all be in sync. Now, what I think has happened is that all of the Wi-Fi and the radio, instruments that they have here, something has failed. Something has happened with one of those or even 2 of those, because half of the drones are not operating as they should do, and there are quite a few that are still in the air operating just fine. That tells me that it's a radio issue, and a radio issue for half of the drones. Quite simple, actually. Not a GNSS. I don't see drones flying away. They're not doing erratic. The actual behaviour is not bad. If we look at another video here, this video was taken from the side, and it's quite a good video that you can see what has been going on. You can see all the drones going up in the air, and then it's hard to tell when something goes wrong here, because there's so many drones in the air and there's other images happening, so it's quite difficult to sometimes know, because there have been a lot of, let's say, positive news things about here when you see things have went wrong. Now, first of all, look at here on the left hand side. You can see this is a tank and it's coming in. The drones are actually leaving, but the house on the right hand side is okay. Those 2 images are coming from 2 separate fleets of drones with different actual radio. That tells me that the radio on the left hand side is bad and the radio on the right hand side is good. So that could well be that's what it is. So there's quite a large area. If you look at this image, you'll see how long the area is. there will be lots and lots of say Wi-Fi, let's say devices that will be used to actually communicate with the drones. This will have an effect, and I think that this is something that has went wrong. We can call it interference, but I think that something has failed, and the heartbeat just means that there's no signal getting to the drones. Now you can see here that this 50 looks good, and there are drones which are green at the bottom, and they are heading back. So they're flashing, which shows to me that it's just that they want to see the drones. So they're flashing those drones in order to make sure that they can see them, so that if any of them land in places that they shouldn't land, they can easily find them. Because if they land as they have been landing there, the lights will still be on, so you can easily find them. But yeah, this does not look good at all. It really doesn't look good, and I feel for the team, because when something like this goes wrong, especially this size, you need to go and find those drones, and when you've got 10,000 drones, okay, maybe even half of them 5,000, it's a lot of drones to find. But yeah, so that's what I think has went wrong here. It's purely been radio, where I don't think it's jamming. I think that something has failed, and with that failure, that the drones have not been able to get their commands, which means that they have been wanting to come home. Now that show was actually quite good. Now we can see here from this video that the show did go ahead, and it was absolutely fine. So whether that was the rehearsal or this is the rehearsal, I don't know, but it's always good to obviously record all of your shows, because you never know what's going to happen. And certainly when you're in Asia, things can go wrong. It really is. But yeah, it's not the easiest thing, and we've had that, so it's an experience. But we can see that this does happen. Now, if you are interested in this more, I've got some really good footage of what happened to us many years ago. And if you want me to make a video and talk about that, I will happily do that. So leave a comment below and we'll see what we can do, because it's about time I should be talking about this a little bit more, because I've got good experience I've had, and I've been dealing with politicians and world leaders and whatnot, and it's been quite funny, the whole thing actually, but I can talk about it more. Anyway, like and subscribe to the channel please. We'll see you on the next video, and fly safe.